Hey there, it's day 33 in our 90-day social media run. Excited to wrap up this week talking about converting. And today we reviewed a little bit. We talked about tracking specifically and what to track. We'll get to that. And a script to follow up with based on those objections. So first of all, being at the end of week 5 is always a great time to take a moment, reflect, recommit as always to being a finisher. So thanks you guys for following along. I keep hearing occasionally people in my company or outside who's caught a few of these. So I really appreciate you guys following along. It's been super fun. And apparently in our class next week, we're getting into some heavy hitting social media. So it's been a lot of training so far. We're going to get into more technical things apparently and looking at the screen exactly how to create some specific things on social media. So I'm excited to look at what that is going to be. But first of all, by the way, I'm standing up. If you notice, my desk actually moves, and I was inspired. There you go. I was inspired to change it by our teacher, Fraser Brooks, who apparently has the same desk. And so I'm going to stand up because it's healthier and I have more energy. And actually, whenever I speak, whenever I record speeches, I prefer to stand up when I've done presentations for my company, like pre-recorded for an event, etc. I like to stand up because it has more energy. So a little speaking tip for you there too. Okay. So if you want to move fast, there are 4 things to focus on. F-A-S-T, fast. So the F is find, A is ask, S is show, and T is track. So I'll break those down a little bit more. So F is find, obviously finding people, growing your audience, finding the people you're going to talk to. And it's important to grow your network no matter what business you're in. You need to continue to increase the number of people that you're talking to. So we talked about this in our acronym FAM, F-A-M, find, add, message. So F is for find, finding people, adding them to your list, to your social media following, and messaging them, right? Starting the conversation. So F is find. A is ask. A is asking the question, are you open to look at information regarding my opportunity, regarding my product in a game-changing way to improve your skin, improve your health, grow an income on social media, whatever the case is. So be sure to ask the question. And I'll be honest and reflecting, like, this is a lower number than I would like for it to be. And some of it is just because not enough of the new conversations have made it to that place. A lot of my income producing conversations are follow-ups from previous ones. But I have engaged in many new conversations, but bringing it to the question is something that I'm still working on, but excited to do. And he did point out that if you are lacking in the number of asking the question, or if you're not doing it at all, it's not that I'm not doing it at all. I'm doing it and it's fun, obviously, because I have lots of great conversations going. But if you're not asking at all, it could be a confidence issue. And the confidence is in a cycle that can be spiraling up or down. This is something I've learned from various mindset trainers, and I've trained on it in our own calls. But basically, your confidence comes from what we experience. And what we experience is based on the actions that we take. And our actions that we take come from our belief. If you can imagine those in a circle, our belief influence our actions, influence our experience, which influence our confidence. And if those are positive, that's going to circle around and grow our belief so that we grow our action, experience, confidence is going to be upward. On the other hand, if it's downward, if we're not taking action because our belief is low and then our experience is low, it's going to lower our confidence. It's just going to validate that low belief for us and we'll spiral down. So it's really important. You can interrupt that cycle at any point. And one of the simplest ways to interrupt it is simply with action. I think taking action consistently and having the discipline to do that, even when we don't feel like it, is one of the major components to success in any industry, any profession, any area of our lives, is having the discipline to take action, even when we don't feel like it, because in the big picture, that's going to increase our experience, increase our confidence and our belief, and bring more success into our lives and the ability to impact others. All right, so find, ask, show the tool. So I have a video, a before and after picture, a webinar, a follow-up from yesterday. I told you I was in conversation, open a 3-way chat, which was going really well. And that led to me inviting my prospect to a webinar last night. She was late getting on, only saw the last 10 minutes. And so she was like to see the whole thing. So we're working on that. And our conversation is still going great, but showing a tool of some sort. And then T is a new one he added, is track. Now, what to track specifically in this case, I mean, we're tracking a lot of stuff in this class. If you've been following along, we're tracking our social media posts, we're tracking our reaches, our number of asking the question, our number of follow-ups, our number of people we're adding to the list. Well, now we're tracking the reasons that people say no. And to add to my team, actually on my team, I'm running this contest right now, is to go for no's. So we have a go for 100 no's this month. And if you're in my team, you know that, and you get a prize at the end of the month. So here we go, let's go. But in addition to the team tracking for this class, our assignment and our dare is actually to track the reason why people are saying no. Is it lack of time, lack of money? What are the reasons? And one of those reasons, just from my own reflection, I will share, is that I've found with working with a lot of people that typically people tend to get the same objection over and over again. And if we get the same objection over and over again, it usually has to do with a lack of belief in that area ourselves, right? I observed that if I'm getting a lot of people objections about the price, and somewhere in there, maybe I'm having some doubt or uncertainty about the price. And so I need to dig in and understand more and raise that level of belief. Or if it's confidence in themselves, or, whatever it is, if I'm getting the same objection repeatedly, then I know that's an area that I can work on in myself. And I see it in my team all the time. If they get the same objection, I can see it that that's an area of lack of belief. But beyond that, the actual point of doing it for this class was to impact the way that we follow up. So for example, if you follow up with somebody and they say no, and let's say it's because they didn't have the money to start, which in my mind, if you're offering somebody an opportunity to make money, that's the whole point. But anyway, that's what people say sometimes. So a way you can follow up is that, hey, Steve, or Bob, or Mary, all those names that we've been using, how are you doing? Last time we spoke, I know that money was an issue for you. Is that still the case? So in your follow-up, whether it be, a few weeks, few months, few years down the road, if you know what their objection was, either because you tracked it and wrote it down, or you still have the message thread that you didn't delete, then you know what it is. Just say, hey, is that still an issue for you? And if they say, well, no, it's not, then you can jump right into the question. Well, hey, that's amazing. Would you be open to taking another look at what we have going on here? Right? But if they say, yes, it is still the case, that is still a problem for me, then you can respond with, I hate to see my friends struggling, and I would love to help you change that. Would you be open to taking another look at what we've got going on here? And you can do that with any objection, whether it's a time issue, it's a lack of support from family, friend, spouse, whatever the concern is, you just follow up with, hey, last time you said this, is this still the case? And whether it's a yes or no, you can then ask them if they'd be open to take another look. Because industries change, situations change, and in the world right now, people keep saying there's going to be a recession. I mean, for sure, prices are going up, and so people are looking to make an extra income. I think in our profession in network marketing, we tend to see an uptick in people joining whenever a recession hits or people are challenged in money, because it's an opportunity to make money from home, and it's based on your own value, own merit, your own hard work. It's not a set amount depending on the number of hours you can get or a salary that somebody else gives you. You have the opportunity to create whatever income that you need. So with that, I think it's going to be an increase in opportunity to make extra money. So the specific dare is to track the reasons why people you're talking to say no. And as we do every Friday, our assignment, our dare, has 3 levels. So level 1 is to do this with 10 people. Level 2 is 25 people. And level 3 is 50 people. Right? And that's the dare for today. So I'd love to hear how it goes for you. And then every Friday there is a Q&A section. I don't always stay on for it. Today I did. And so just a few little tricks and hacks that came up, because I think it's always super valuable to see what other people are asking. But one platform was questioned was StreamYard. I'm vaguely familiar with it. I have been on it when other people have interviewed me. StreamYard is a way to go live from your computer, and it will stream to multiple platforms. So for example, you want to go live on Facebook and Instagram at the same time, you can do that. And it will also schedule it for you, and you'll see your audience will see a post that you're going live at a certain time. So using an outside platform can reduce the visibility on the individual platforms, but you make up for it by making it easy to go on each platform. In fact, if you remember, our dare from a few days ago was to interview someone. And when I did that, I did it on Facebook, and the quality was really wonky. And the more I'm talking to people, the more I find that that is pretty common. So using something like StreamYard is something that will make it clear, and also the visibility on multiple platforms is great. The next question was about how to interact and engage with people who are commenting on your live, and he says just to comment back, send them a message and add them as a friend if they're not already. Most likely people seeing it are going to be there already, but just start a conversation. If they were interacting with your live, they probably want to continue the conversation. You just say, hey, how are you? Thanks for the comment. What's up with you? And that will continue the conversation. Oh, just kind of the last thing, there was a couple on there who spoke, and they've been doing a lot of reels, and they had observed that their reels that were humorous and were educational were getting the most views and interaction, whereas their other reels that had to do with their testimonies and business content were not getting as much. So they were just curious if that was typical and what to do. And so the answer is to focus on the ones that are getting the most traction. Continue to do those and engage in conversation with the people who are interacting. If they're sharing, if they're liking, if they're commenting, then you can reply. And one really neat trick that they suggested is to do something called flash content. I think this is something we're going to learn in the future, where you basically put up a reel or some sort of content that directly responds to someone's comment on one of your other items of content, and you tag them in it. And then you can leave it up for like 3 or 4 days. You don't have to leave it up forever, but it's a way to engage that follower and make them know, like, and trust you even more. So I thought that was an interesting hack. But anyway, have a great weekend doing all your core activities. We'd love to know how it's going for you, and be tracking those objections and practicing that response. I'm excited to do the same, and I'll see you on Monday.